You know what makes me sad? That's always going to be in the back of his head.
He'll never forget today.
He'll be like, damn, I shit myself.
April 12th, 2025, he caught a bad one.
People are going to like ask him like, what's the worst thing you've ever done? And he's going to know the answer is shit himself that way. But then he's going to have to be like, I stopped talking to my mom before she passed.
Yeah. And he was old, so it feels like that might be like what gets him to stop driving.
Yeah.
Like his kids are like, you can't have a car after you shoot yourself on the brake. Dad, you know you can't drive anymore. Remember when I had to come get you? Because you shit your pants on the brake. We can't have this happen. I had to call out of work. I was at work. I'm a doctor.
They put him in a home.
That was what got him in the home. You can't look after yourself. You're shitting yourself on the side of the road.
You're shitting yourself and you didn't even know how to clean.
Dad, I miss Mom too.
Look, it's too much house for you. You can't get to the bathroom safely anymore.
It's too much house.
You're going to have to live. We'll figure it out, but you got to live somewhere else.
You got to live somewhere else or you got to let Rick move in. That's it. That's it. We cannot have this again.
And he's like, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Look at the Accord. Is the Accord fine?
Yeah, your car smells like shit.
There's shit everywhere, Dad. Is this how you want to live? You've got to lick it before you stick it. You got to grab it before you stab it. Welcome, little mamas and Gentiles alike, to another phenomenal episode of My Momma Told Me.
The podcast where we dive deep into the pockets of black conspiracy theories.
And we finally work to prove whatever the fuck we want. We have autonomy.
Whoa, we can do it. We can do it.
We can do whatever we want.
We can do it. Put your back into it.
We run this. Us and Will Ferrell.
Who is a constant and close collaborator of ours.
Truly a great friend. I called him today.
If you think these episodes happen without old Willie knowing about it, you're wrong.
He edits. He's our editor.
He's our editor and he's our confidant.
Him and Justin. Shout out to Justin. You know what I've been thinking?
Yeah.
I think the amount of black people on television peaked in the 90s, and I don't think we're ever going to get it back.
Oh.
I think that the amount of black content, of quality black content that they were looking for then, I don't think it'll ever be up to those numbers.
You don't think we're ever getting a UPN run again?
I don't think the way television works, I don't even think we're getting a night again.
Whoa. Yeah, we had a night.
Every channel had a night.
Yeah.
Everybody had a WB Sundays or whatever.
Yeah, you could like look forward to like, oh, this is going to be Wayans Bros. And it's going to be that
the Parenthood.
Yeah, Parenthood. It's going to be that
show.
One white guy, White Mike, who got his own show or whatever on UPN. But that's neither here nor there.
Diverse DEI.
Yeah,
purposes.
there were some DEI hires in there for sure.
Yeah, Veronica Mars or whatever. But overall, I don't think we ever get back to that.
Man.
And I think it's interesting because I think people from our generation hyperfixate on that because that really helped us out. That really helped us out a lot.
It really,
there was no lack, like I think about it as a kid, there was not really a major lack of positive representation.
This is the first time I've ever really thought about it the way that you're framing it, but I think that's so true because there's a part of me that's always taken issue with this argument of like, we need more representation. I've never seen myself on TV. Yeah. And it's like, but I have.
You grew up in a wealth of it.
I grew up, it was so wealthy with like representation. In fact, that I never thought of not having it at all. And I suppose if you are a Black woman, maybe you don't feel like you've had as much of the wealth. It was primarily men that were sort of flush with the shit, but we were flush with the shit.
Yeah. And I mean, even for women, the idea of like girlfriends, the Parkers, Moesha, like all the, like, it was just like
living single.
Yeah, we grew up with such a wealth of it that now we're like, it's not that important, but it's like, no, because the generation before, that's why regardless of what the man did, that's why the Cosby Show was so crazy, such a leap forward.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that kind of like kicked the door in for a different world and all this shit. But like we grew up, I think maybe the biggest representation of like the idea of like prosperous Black people on television.
Yeah, and also
the sisters or whatever, where it's just like some people in a house having a life.
Yeah, I think even, the previous iterations of what the Black experience were before the Cosby Show were in the framework of like Norman Lear.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's
Good
like
times.
Yeah, where it's like the extremes of Blackness. Mm-hmm. It is either ultimate poverty, or in the case of the Jeffersons, it's like supreme wealth, but it is still a commentary on like the Black experience as a poor person. Mm-hmm. There was no, just to your point, a regular ass group of people
hanging with Mr.
out.
Cooper.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, it's tough.
Even the Fresh Prince, like the Fresh Prince came from the hood, but he was like framed as like a regular ass dude who didn't want to sell drugs. He wasn't even trying to rap in the show.
No. He was not rap adjacent.
Nah.
He wasn't trying to be an entertainer.
No, I mean, he was down to be he worked on Hillary's show.
He wanted to be Ashley's manager.
Yeah, he was just trying to be in production.
Yeah, he was really just trying to get on.
Mm-hmm. He was trying to not go back to Philly.
Yeah.
By any means necessary.
That was the whole point of this show.
He was like, bro, they beat the fuck out of me.
They ran me off my...
Yeah, I'll manage my little cousin. I don't care. Yeah. I'll let her talk down to me. I don't care.
I don't give a fuck.
I just can't go back to Philly, bro.
Ashley Banks, Make Up Your Mind is going platinum. Remember, she had a real song, too.
Yeah.
Daydreaming.
You remembered the name.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember, did you ever think Tatiana Ali was Muhammad Ali's daughter?
I had heard that said, but I think my mom had corrected it early.
Okay.
I don't think that I genuinely believed that ever.
All right, moving on. None of us thought that. None of us believed she was a Nepo baby until 2 years ago.
The nepotism being getting punched in the head and then
No. He didn't. I didn't think he hit her.
I'm talking about the act of getting punched in the head somehow leading to acting opportunity.
Yeah, I think you're really reducing Muhammad Ali.
I don't think I am.
I think you 100%. You don't think... Are you not an Ali guy?
Oh, I'm a huge Ali guy.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think his job becomes more elevated because of who he is.
It was what he did with it.
I think the human being is the elevation. He was so far more exceptional than the work that he did, which is why even when we lost him and his career in his prime years.
Yeah.
And we still were like, no, we're rooting for this person because he represents something much greater than all of this.
Right. I mean, he was exceptional, though. I mean, the work that you're saying he was more exceptional than the work that he did in the ring or in general?
I'm saying the work that he does in the ring is of no consequence to me compared to what he ultimately did as a human being.
I get that, but you can't deny he was also, I guess that to me is what makes him so exceptional, is that he was also this incredible athlete.
No, I'm not saying that he's not a great athlete. I'm saying that the work itself is still just punching somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend like it's not that, because
no, fighting for money
great.
Is the craziest thing to do.
Yeah, it's still, every single one of them has suffered like life-changing brain damage because of their experience, and that can't go away simply because he was an exceptional person.
Right. I mean, I think you got to be kind of a wild person to even think that that's the way. Like, you get in a fight and you're like, what? I could get money for this.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, what if I?
Yeah. Hey, you watching across the street? Give me $1.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'll beat his ass right now.
what if I did that on TV? Yeah.
Man, thank God. Did you ever have like a boxing phase? Did you ever think you could like get into it?
I tried in college to join up with like the boxing club, and when I showed up, the first like 3 weeks they just wanted you to run. Where they're like, no, we're for real training to like build something here.
Okay.
And so we're going to get in shape before we even start touching bags and like hitting each other and shit. And I was like, oh, bro, this isn't what I signed up for.
No, you just want to be able to look good shadow boxing.
Yeah, I just wanted to like get a different way of like being active and healthy, and y'all are for real trying to like build fighters, and I'm going to be mad at you and you're going to be mad at me. I'm walking away from
it
this.
is like a lot of work. It doesn't seem like a casual hobby.
No.
At all.
And I'm not convinced I was good at it.
That's fair.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You're not even giving me a chance to find out if I got like some sort of like innate ability.
Yeah, maybe there's an aptitude there, but they tried to run it out of you.
Yeah, you're gonna make me train 5 miles a day to find out I'm about to get my ass whooped.
Yo, that is honestly, maybe you saved yourself, because that would be hard.
That would be crazy. I couldn't take that. I was trying to get hoes.
Yeah. Because it does seem like the best thing to take up to get hoes, because you don't have to prove it really.
It's awesome.
You just tell her like, oh, I box a little bit.
Yeah, I box.
Yeah, that's a good hoe getting sport. I think it's like probably top tier.
You seem like a strong guy.
Yeah.
Just off grip, I go, all right, I'm going to be respectful around this person.
Right. And it's like difficult enough that it weeds out a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think saying that you hoop is nearly as attractive as it used to be.
No, because
there's a lot of people who play basketball regularly.
Because hoopers also are so far removed from the human form that, like, if I tell you I'm good at basketball, you go, okay, you're good at basketball for a 37-year-old man who
6 feet tall,
who at best is 5'11".
Right.
Like you are what you are. Yeah, I know what your peak is, no matter how good you are at basketball. Right. Versus with boxing, if I tell you I can fight,
you could be sneaky. You could be,
bro. Till you put Floyd in front of me,
yeah,
I might be able to take Floyd.
You might be low key nice, yeah, because you can't. Like, I don't think if you saw Tank, you would think. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, because boxing, and it does seem like, I can't prove this, but it does seem like dudes who box get the best pussy. I think it's top tier.
I think for a period it is, and then it gets complicated.
Oh yeah, I think on the back end. I
think the way their brains work, it don't stay healthy relationships throughout.
Yeah, it's not like a guy you want to anger.
No. And I think history tells its own story with that.
Anyways.
We got voicemails.
Yeah, we got voicemails. You guys keep sending voicemails. We keep listening to voicemails.
It's cool as shit.
We got a lot this time.
We got a lot. This one piqued my interest, and I don't know what it. We don't listen to them ahead of time.
Have not heard it. Is that a great strategy for creating content? Who knows?
It's all a surprise for us, and we'll find out if that's worth the surprise. But here we go. This one seems exciting, so let's find out.
What's up, little freakies? I'm calling because I realized that you all forming a parasocial relationship with me.
Pause. Hold up a goddamn minute. This nigga, relax. All right? Yeah, I don't even love that we gave this credence.
Who is this to say that we have a parasocial relationship with this person? Who are you?
I think it's the first guy who called us little freaky.
I don't like that at all.
I don't like it either.
This isn't a real relationship. You abused us.
Yeah, we took it, but not anymore.
You did a nasty thing. You don't get to take ownership of this.
We're gonna cut our hair and move to a new city and take a spin class.
J-Lo, enough.
Yeah, we'll maybe finally get back into painting.
It's solving the male loneliness epidemic. And you're trying to do that for other people. and you're trying to do that for other men. So thank you for your service.
Yeah.
I'm going to look directly at the camera and say, we do not do this for men at all.
Wasn't thinking about you one bit.
We are men who were raised by single mothers, and we have those tendencies. Quite frankly, when we're alone, we often talk about how men make us uncomfortable in large groups.
If you thought for a second that I wake up in the day and I go, how can I please the fellas?
Yeah.
You're wrong.
This was for the dogs. Nah, man.
That's when I started to hate Drake, was when he was like, I'm making music for men. I was like, this nigga.
No, I want to hear nice for what to these niggas.
Yeah.
You gotta be.
Lie to me about how you treat women is my position on everything.
I mean, even joking aside, I don't really think about. I don't think about sex when we do this, though. Really,
you don't think about sex in what sense?
I don't think about it being directly for women or men. I kind of just like.
Oh, you mean like gender?
I feel like we're just shooting shots, but it does. Olivia told me recently it does. We're pretty even. I think she said it's like 56% women, 44% men or something like that.
That's right. She just texted me 56% female, 43% male. I don't know what that missing percentage is meant to be. But
yeah, you do. And you guys have a right to exist as well. And I will fight for you politically and physically.
That's fair. Shame on me. Shame on me. I'm regretting. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I really didn't think about it. I just responded to the information I was given, and I'm so sorry.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't think that I think about this in a gendered sense, but I am interested, I guess, in hearing, maybe this continues for a little bit, in hearing more about what we're doing for this loneliness epidemic.
I do think we do. If I were to really think about it, I do think we scratch maybe an itch for the non-hypermasculine black men that you don't hear about as much.
Sure.
Right? I think a lot of podcasts specifically, there's a lot of dudes telling you, because we don't even talk about like sex that much.
No.
Or I don't. Maybe we do because we're little freakies or whatever. But like,
yeah.
But like, we don't talk about. I don't think we talk negatively about women or sexual. Like, I just don't think. I think that there's like so much of the podcast space and the black podcast space is like that, and I feel like we don't. We don't do that.
We're not teaching men to be men.
Yeah, or like
in
how
traditional sense,
or how to hack women or whatever that other shit's got going on.
And I think in that way we're jetting a little bit of the standard, but I am curious to hear a little bit more from this person as to what they think we're doing, because it's interesting.
Thank you for forming a parasocial relationship with me and other dudes so that we're not so lonely anymore. I love you, David. I love you, Langston, so much.
Okay. That was it.
Sounds like the voicemail you play at the beginning of a rap song. Like that last
yeah.
I love you, Langston. I love you, David.
Thank
so
you so much.
And then the beat drop.
Much.
I'm glad, bro. I'm glad that you like it.
Yeah, we certainly didn't step out of our houses with that plan, but we're glad that you feel that way.
And honestly, to hear your voice, you don't even sound like the kind of guy I thought was involved in that loneliness epidemic.
Yeah, and frankly, let's talk a little bit about the loneliness epidemic. I think in some ways, and this is just my feeling, I think some of that loneliness epidemic is man-made. It is a lot of things that while you may feel alone, you may feel like you're disconnected from community. There is always community to build, to have, to find. That doesn't have to just be tethered to a podcast that you enjoy listening to.
100%. I also sometimes feel like a lot of what the idea of the masculine man was tethered to the idea of women being subservient or less than. So it's just people dealing with women being equal and okay.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're like, I don't know how to be a man anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, she could do whatever she wants. You can still be a man, bro.
Yeah,
like,
you can still
carry all that masculine energy and all that. You just don't also have to fucking have women seem below you.
She's not gonna cook for you, and that's okay.
Yeah, but you could still be a man within that. You can still lift weights or whatever.
Yeah, you can be whatever you want to be, and you can find a community of people who also feel exactly the way that you feel. You just have to step outside of yourself, and frankly, this podcast enough to be able to find those individuals.
Yeah, man.
Come to a live show.
No, yeah, give us your money.
Yeah, please don't leave us.
Yeah, we want your money. Keep listening.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say I love you, but I appreciate your support. I ain't begging for it.
Yeah, I want you to find your special community and not only need us, I guess.
Yeah. That was weird though, because when I think about male loneliness epidemic guys, I never think it's somebody who would be listening to this podcast. But maybe it's bigger than I imagine it.
You know what it is? I think that as we grow, we stretch our arms further and further, and then you start to just touch people that weren't originally aiming for you. Do you know what I mean? If you reach your arms out far enough, and I'm sorry that this is making you uncomfortable.
I don't love the way that you were doing your fingers. I did not like.
Okay, well, I apologize.
No, it's okay. Keep going.
No, it really makes it hard to keep going when you hate it that much. But I'll say,
was it that apparent?
I watched you look at my hands with an active disgust that made me self-aware, even as I attempted to land what I thought was a pretty thoughtful idea. What I thought was a well-shaped perspective.
It is a good idea.
And then I watched you katooey.
That was my toxic masculinity is not. I was like, I know.
I thought we were over here
You were like
bonding.
this, I was like, I know. Fuck is it? That's really what I was saying. I know. Sometimes that shit flares up in me. That's how you know toxic masculinity is inherent, because that's not like a learned behavior. That's just, I just felt that way about that for some reason.
Right. You haven't seen enough people wiggle their fingers to even know if that like is something that bothers you, but then you found out today it does. Yeah. Damn. I'm sorry to be the person to
No, it's
introduce
okay,
that to
man.
you.
It's about growth. We got to learn ourselves.
I do think that maybe we are just expanding in a way that we are touching people who did not originally plan to be touched. And I think that's kind of nice.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to move on.
I'm sorry. I want to be good.
We did what we could together, man. I don't even know what I'm trying
what
for
that makes
anymore.
me think about when I said pause when I texted you the other day? Like, I'm trying, but sometimes.
Should we do another one?
Oh, can we talk about this doo-doo? We just have to get it out.
Yeah, we didn't.
We
talk
just
about
have
that.
to get it out.
That's fair. David and I, when driving to the studio today, witnessed something you don't witness often.
It was incredible. It was incredible because we were riding a high because you had gotten in that altercation with that lady.
I did.
And I laughed in her face.
Yeah.
Langston was very funny. A woman yelled at him on the street for driving into the intersection.
To make a right turn when she was very far from the actual...
Too far to have any opinion on what he was doing.
Would not have made it in time to cross the street either way, but was just angry at the concept of me having crossed the crosswalk before the green light.
And she said, what?
She said, you asshole, you're not supposed to do that.
You were like, how did you say? You have to just recreate what you said. It was so funny. She said, hey, asshole, you're not supposed to do that. And I rolled down the window. I poked my head out and I said, you talk nice. Yeah.
You talk nice to me. You be nice. You're talking nasty. You're being mean. You're a nasty lady. And then she kept cursing. She said, fuck you. Fuck you. You're not supposed to do that. You're a piece of shit. And then she got so afraid of, I think, the interaction, even as I just kept screaming, you be nice. You be nice.
He didn't raise his tone either, that was the coldest part about it. That was the best part.
And then she got so afraid of just me, I guess, sort of doing whatever I was doing that she decided to move in a different direction. But then And as
she also yelled out, though.
She yelled out as I pulled off. I said, "You be nice. You work on yourself." As I pulled off, she said, "I hate you. I hate you."
So we were riding that high.
We were doing great.
We were in the car. We were so funny. We were riding that high. It's hilarious. What a funny confrontation.
Yeah.
And we drive fast. Well, I believe a white Honda Accord.
Yeah.
With the door open, a man leaning over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know when something awesome is so awesome you can't compute immediately? It took me like 2 seconds past, and we both kind of were like, I think that guy just shit himself. he was covered in doo-doo. He was covered in shit.
He had Dookie so far up his back. Like an infant. Like an infant child. He had shit through his underwear. And up his back.
It was all the way up his back.
And we have to be clear, because some of you are going to be thinking to yourself, well, maybe this was an unhoused person. Maybe this was a person in need, and you guys are laughing at a person at their own at their own expense. That is not the case.
That's why it was so good. It was just a guy.
This was a regular man.
It was a guy who has a car.
Who was driving down the street, lost control of his anus.
There was shit everywhere. The shit looked like a new continent. And he was wearing white underwear.
Yeah, white underwear. And you could just see it up his fucking back. It was a nightmare. It was the worst shit I've ever seen a person
Yeah.
have.
And I've seen somebody shit on the street.
I have 2 children.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
I have 2 children. I've never seen anything. I've seen things like that on children. I've never seen that much Dookie per capita.
So, bro, mid-back Dookie. Mid-back Dookie.
Bro was covered in it.
He was...
I wouldn't be surprised. We pulled up here at, noon?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's still there cleaning.
No, they had to call the fire department. He couldn't save himself. And I think the best part was we had seen the beginning of it.
Yeah.
So he was still in that, oh no. Like, what do I do? He was still in the discovery stage.
He was still there like this. Fuck. Fuck. What have I done?
Oh man.
Oh me, oh my.
The worst has happened. Because what do? You got to call your wife?
That's the thing. He's thinking about who he has to call. Because he's like, can I keep this private? And it's so much that he can't. He needs help.
Would you call your wife if you're that man?
Bro, I don't know what I would do.
Me either.
I think, okay, if I'm being honest, I think what I would do is I would, fuck, man. I think if I were that man, I would get back in my car.
Yes, because we could see. Everybody could see.
I would not be cleaning myself outside my car. I would get back in my car, and I think I would just sacrifice my car to my cleanliness.
What do you mean?
Meaning I would like figure out a way to remove as much Dookie from myself inside of my car and then go to whatever close place where I can maybe, shower, wash myself, anything.
Right. But you saw it was so much.
It was so much.
That like,
his car is ruined.
Here would be the worry for me is that like, I almost feel like you got to go home. I don't know where he lives, but you got to like just drive home, because if you're trying to, what are you going to put? You can't peel it. It was everywhere, y'all.
Yeah. No, he's not. Let me be clear. I don't believe him to be going to wherever he thought he was going now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's still going to be able to like hit the spot and play it cool. I think that's a day's work he's got ahead of him.
Yeah.
One way or the other. But I'm saying that like ultimately I would feel a need to clean myself before I even step foot in my own home.
That's fair.
I could not arrive to my family with that much Dookie on me.
You wouldn't call like Nikki Get the Hose?
We gotta still love each other, man.
That's true. She's gotta touch you again.
I still need this. I've committed to life with this person. I can't risk that.
Yeah. Wow. I like that you put the stakes. It's life stakes.
This is life stakes for him. And we drove past giggling like bitches.
Oh my God. I haven't laughed that hard in a minute.
That was crazy.
Because it's so funny because we both realized at the same
The exact same time.
It was a man
he shit himself.
It was so much shit.
But we also realized that we weren't even laughing at the first piece. Like we weren't. We were just like, oh, he shit himself. And then it wasn't until like a block later that we were like, yo.
It was so much.
That was crazy. That was insane.
Oh, man.
All right.
We probably gave too much time to that, but I just had to get it out.
Well, no, you were right to bring it up. We need to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to do another voicemail.
Let's do it.
More David, more Langston, more My Momma Told Me.
But we're going to do this respectfully, otherwise we'll end in a duel. And I mean a duel, real life duel, where only one person walks away. We can meet with guns, bottles, knives, or books and equations. But we're going to do this like men. So, get ready.
We are back with a clip that is in no way foreshadowing. Here to listen to another voicemail after a long talk about Dookie.
We talked about Dookie for longer than we probably should, but that's not our problem. We're enjoying ourselves.
It's just what we were going through at the time.
Yeah. We ain't tell you to sell Dookie.
Yeah, it was just what happened.
All right, here we go. We got another voicemail. Let's listen to this one.
Hi, David. Hi, Langston. I want to say I appreciate the podcast. Very enlightening. And I do want to say, Langston, I know that you do read and also research a lot. And
Wow.
David, I know that you also read. And I've been fans of you, not really known it until I've actually started to watch.
Pause. Turn it down. This is too much.
Yeah, you don't know what we read and don't read.
I trust you. It's not as much as you think.
I'll tell you this. I read a lot at a point.
Yeah, it was
and
7th
I haven't
grade.
done that in a while.
It was summer going into 8th grade. I wanted free pizza.
Yeah, I got smart for a time, and then I really checked out after that.
I think you could kind of just front load it, though.
I
to
think
be
so, too.
honest, like smart shit. I think if you go real hard on the smart shit till 27, you probably all right.
I think you can be just sort of smart enough for the rest of your life and not have to really worry about too many things.
I've gone very far on a high school education.
I'm on college, but I ain't do the work. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, I worked hard in high school.
Yeah, you John Box.
I got it. Yeah. I was at the intramural gym a lot. All right.
Excuse me, watch and listen to the podcast. Anyway, my mama told me these few organizers that typically people that are late bloomers in high school, specifically the loner black ones, who are just not very social and unattractive during that awkward time, typically tend to be the social butterflies / pretty attractive when they get older. And I mean that by, personally for myself, very awkward, didn't talk to a lot of people. But as I've gotten older, I feel as though I have become much more visibly attractive.
I like that. She's like, speaking for myself,
Yeah.
I had a hard time, but now I'm fine as shit.
Yeah, I grew up. I don't believe this. I think this is a lie Big Ugly is pushing out. They want you to think that there's some secret virtue to being ugly. I can't even get it out. I understand wanting to think this, but I think it might just be some people are just sour and don't like people, and some people are not social, and some people never grow into that. I don't think we got to stop caring about what happened in high school, bro.
I do think I think sometimes we put a lot of stock into what people were in high school in a way that probably isn't true even for the people that lived the experience.
Yeah.
Like even the people who we were like, man, he was the best in high school. He was so cool. Like how much of that was that person also experiencing as like the championship we're framing it as, and how much of it was like, I don't know, they had their insecurities and their shit they were working through and not really like celebrating the way we think they were.
They were 14 to 18.
Yeah.
And if you were the greatest that you were from 14 to 18, you blew it. I'm sorry.
I was pretty cool in high school, but I wasn't. No, but I just mean like I wasn't the king of the school by any means.
Right.
But I was cool enough that everybody fucked with me. I didn't
Right.
have any of like that weird shit of being bullied or like
Right.
outcasted in any way. I got along with everybody. Everybody was like, no, Langston's a cool dude. But also, you know what I mean? Like it's not like I looked at the people who were being bullied and I'm like, now those are the sexy ones now.
Yeah.
It's like, no, the niggas that were sexy in high school still kind of are.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, are you going to go to your 20th?
I'm tempted. It's it feels also like a complete waste now that I like have a family.
Oh, interesting.
Just in that,
because
like,
you're not gonna.
But
You're
also,
trying to go clean up unfinished business.
no, it's not that. Although that would be nice. I'm saying like I'm thinking more just like the idea that I would have to like bring my whole family to Chicago,
Right.
so that I could go to my high school reunion. Feels like excess. It feels like, what am I doing that for?
Yeah.
But on the flip side, maybe I'm doing it because those people did make a meaningful imprint on a major part of my life for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you gonna go?
I don't think so. They're pushing it right now. I don't really.
Did you go to your 10?
No.
Oh.
I just don't. I think that I went to 2 high schools, but the one I went to mostly was a smaller school.
Mm-hmm.
So they all went to school with each other because it was in a small area. They all went to school with each other like their whole lives.
Yeah.
I got there halfway through 9th grade and I left home halfway through 12th grade. So it's like, I think sometimes they kind of group you in as having grown up with them forever. And it's like, oh, I wasn't really around as much as you thought. Because sometimes I'll talk to a buddy from high school, be like, remember in 7th grade? I'm like, no, I wasn't.
Oh,
You know
they're
what I'm
like, oh, I thought you were more a part of our community than you actually are.
Or not that, or maybe that's me too, just having a very transient life. Maybe it doesn't have as big an impact on me either.
That like the things that could have meant something would maybe, not as important to you as you thought.
Yeah. I don't know.
Damn. Huh. Let's keep listening. Because I feel like, maybe she's saying she had her glow up. Let's see if there's other examples.
What I've been told also. And, pretty popular. So that comes with strange stereotypes and things like that and assumptions that are made.
Here's my issue. I don't...
She sounds fine as hell.
She does sound fine.
I can tell she's fine as hell.
But I don't like grown-ups being popular. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is that?
You don't like it, but that's real.
Is it? Do you think there are popular grown-ups?
Yeah, nigga, what are we trying to do?
Yeah. I'm saying there's
popular people in every single social situation.
You're saying regardless of celebrity. Celebrity to me is a different thing.
Yeah, I think that there's popular people at work. You never had a job where there's just like, oh, everybody loves Rick.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever changes.
You think that continues to exist?
And I think whereas a lot of people don't maybe get more successful in their life, I think a lot of people there's a lot of people who are naturally popular who stay not naturally popular. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think that ever changes.
Wow.
I don't think that ever. I think you can change your trajectory and how you fit in it, like this fine ass lady. Right? I think that's and I think that's why high school is such a bad barometer, because you're literally a kid.
Right.
You're 14 to 18. So yeah, of course you could flip what your dynamic is. But yeah, I think I don't think I ever been in a situation. There's popular people in prison, bro. There's
That's true.
You know what I mean?
You're right. I'm maybe being a little short-sighted when I question the use of popularity. I think it to me rings of a childishness, I guess is maybe the most pejorative way to say it, but like that I don't love, but I also recognize, to your point, that regardless of whether or not it is child brain, it is the way that we live as people.
Yeah, I think one reason maybe that people, I'm just thinking this now. I think one reason maybe that people put so much emphasis on who they were in high school is like the roles that are defined there are kind of the roles that you will see throughout life. What your role is, like you could move around because you're 14 to 18 and you're figuring yourself out.
But the role still exists. But
the actual, that there's always going to be a class clown. There's always going to be a popular kid. There's always going to be a classroom slut. There's also, you know what I'm saying? Like all that
dorks,
shit.
The jocks, all the things exist. Whether you buy into it for yourself is the question.
And who you ultimately end up being. Maybe you are a popular kid, but then you didn't have the confidence or whatever. Mm-hmm. But those basic like kind of social archetypes, I don't know why I said classroom slut. That wasn't nice. But those archetypes.
I don't think slut has to be just girls.
That's true.
I think there were boy sluts.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, I think it can be everybody.
But the point is, like, I think that's when those kind of stick around forever. And I think because people constantly see those, that's why they tie so much of their high school identity to themselves, where it's just like, nah, it's just who you were then. You could be whoever, but it's like, that is kind of who people are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get that. Let's keep listening.
But yeah, the weird pro-black girls, well, and not socially pro-black during that time, became super radicalized without needing to go to college, specifically for me, based on the death of Trayvon Martin. And with that social awareness, as I've gotten older, have become extremely radicalized, super pro-black, and super social. But because I live in Atlanta, sometimes some niggas don't hear that. So, keep working music again, please. Yeah. I'd like to hear y'all's opinion about it. Hey, adios.
Okay, adios.
It's crazy that Trayvon got you fine.
Yeah. Not gonna riff on it.
Yeah. No. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, "This is a mistake."
Yeah, no, you did. You did the best joke that could come out of that.
It was the best joke that could come out of it. It's not, because that's the thing. There's no morality in humor. Sometimes we're just gonna say bad stuff.
Yeah, that's why I cut myself off. I was like, "Nah, everything I'm thinking is not good."
And you were smart, because I think we could get away with just that part. Had it expanded, that's when it would have been really...
Brother, we've been doing this art the same amount of time.
Yeah.
I felt it. Yeah. You felt it.
Yeah.
We all walked away clean.
Yeah, we're getting good. We're getting good at podcasting, boy. No, man. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like she seems like maybe there's a lot going on.
I will say that the addition of the Trayvon Martin sort of like information inside of this feels like you became more activated in a community that learned to love you as you.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That like previously maybe you were sort of like not fully activating your voice or not fully inside of your skin the way that you wanted to be. And then as you became more in your skin, you became more beautiful because of that.
Right.
Right. Like this isn't.
But like.
And more people who look like you or at least like connect to you are able to now see you as beautiful. Whereas previously maybe you felt like, well, I don't know who I am. And I'm surrounding myself with a bunch of people who don't see me the way I want to be seen. And boom, here I am.
I get that, because that's how I felt like in high school, right? Because I went to a regular school and then I transferred to a super rural, mostly white people's school. And it was like, I was like, in my, like the last half of high school, I had my friends from my old school still, but like, I was the only person who like listened to the music that I did. It was like really like cultural touchstones that I kept. And I think that caused me to be very confused on my place within Blackness. So I get that. But also I understand being radicalized. I never thought about the idea of what if all that stuff happened when you were in high school?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, there were kids who were in high school, like, during the Floyd protests and, like...
Yeah, we didn't have any We didn't have any crazy black stuff in our high school years. We had national shit.
We had 9/11.
International shit.
Yeah.
Which was jarring in a multitude of ways, but
it did not feel personal though.
No, and it was the first time I would say as a kid where I truly did feel like that patriotism worked. Do you know what I mean? Like every other time that patriotism got presented as like, we're all coming together as a country, it was like big swaths of the country that'd be like, no, not us.
Right.
We're not a part of that. But like 9/11 was like everybody was into America for a little bit.
Did that make you nervous though? Because I always felt othered on that. Because I remember that 9/11 happened, and then this kid Mohammed, this is at my first high school, this kid got hit. He got hit by a car in the school parking lot like a week later.
Wow.
And I remember he didn't even think it was anything. I was like, I don't know, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because why? Because that was white people.
The timing just feels so crazy.
Yeah. No,
I never thought it would move in my favor. But I'd be lying if I said that it immediately scared me the day. You know what I mean? The first day where people were being like, we gotta do something. There was a part of me that was like, maybe we do. I was 14. I don't know.
See, what's crazy, I didn't rally around. I just was able to see the shift, and I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, because I remember I never really heard the word patriot before that shit happened. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, everybody was saying it. You could tell people were scared.
Yeah.
That shit made me feel, that was the fear of 9/11 for me.
No, that I think I felt far more fear than I felt activism is my point.
Okay.
But I'm saying that I believed the unity for a moment. There was a moment where it did feel unified.
Right.
And then you spend, a few weeks, frankly, sort of like watching the new interpretations of whose responsibility this is and how we should treat the people who we claim to be responsible. And you go, oh, no, this isn't. This isn't that. This is not unity. This was just a reaction to frankly, one of the more horrifying things that could happen to a country.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, we're glad you got fine as hell.
Yeah, congratulations
Good for you.
on that. That's really good. No.
Yeah.
Keep doing the good work.
keep on keeping on.
Keep on being fine and popular and looking out for Trayvon Martin.
Adios. You want to tell people what you're doing and where they can find you?
Oh yeah, you can. That's the whole thing. We're done. I don't know. You can find me at Langston Kerman on all social media platforms. You can watch my special. It's called Bad Poetry. It's on Netflix. You can watch Everybody's Live with John Mulaney on Netflix every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. And then more importantly, what do you have before I get into that other
Cool
shit?
Guy Jokes 87 on Instagram. April 25th and 26th, I will be at the Dallas Comedy Club in Dallas, Texas. June 15th, I will be at the Little Field in Brooklyn, New York, doing stand-up comedy. Please come out and see that. Patreon.com/David Borey to purchase my special, Birth of a Nation.
Hell yeah. And follow us on all social media platforms and send us your own drops. Send us your own conspiracies. Send us your fine ass journey. Send it all to mymommapod@gmail.com. Give us a call at 844-LIL-MOMS. We would love to hear from you. Like, subscribe, rate, review, buy the merch, buy bonds. Bye, bitch.
You raggedy bitch.
My Momma Told Me is a production of Will Ferrell's Big Money Players Network and iHeart Podcasts.
Created and hosted by Langston Kerman.
Co-hosted by David Borey.
Executive produced by Will Ferrell, Hansani, and Olivia Aguilar.
Co-produced by Bay Wang.
Edited and engineered by Justin Conner.
Music by Nick Chambers.
Artwork by Dogon Krieger.
You can now watch episodes of My Momma Told Me on YouTube. Follow at My Momma Told Me and subscribe to our channel.